Thank you very much, Gideon. Boy, Gideon's still tall. Anyways, Gideon, thanks very much for those very kind words. And I'd like to just thank the nomination committee and the university for this award. It's extremely meaningful to me. When I look at it, it's probably the most important thing that I've ever received. Because to me, it represents more than just one race. You know, I've won a race, I've won this race, you know, I've done things. This represents my life at FDU, and so I'm really proud of it. You know, it's going to be on the wall, and I'm always going to look at it, and it'll have a special place for me. So when I came or was driving down, I was kind of thinking, you know, what are the things that stick out in my mind at FDU, okay? So I came out with three things. The first was my athletics, okay? And as my teammates know, you know, I was really driven, okay? It was kind of a funny driven. I can't explain it. It was kind of an internal driven to go as fast as I could. And in some ways, it was never about beating someone. It was trying to keep up with people and outrun them so I could get a better time. So anyways, what I looked at, you know, over my career, there was a lot of folks that helped me, okay? And the first was when I came into the season, I probably had the best 5 guys, 6 guys the cross-country season has ever seen, okay? We had 5 guys that could be 25 minutes flat in a 5-mile, okay? And these guys were senior guys. They helped me, you know, get adjusted to starting as a freshman. And, you know, I'll give you a couple of instances of the support they gave me. So I remember Van Cortlandt Park, you know, our infamous hard cross-country course where a lot of the championships were ran. And towards the end of the race, probably it's about 4 miles in, there's Cemetery Hill there that you climb. And it's just heartbreak, okay? And being a miler, you know, I like the flats, and I love the downhill. I'll fly like the wind. But climbing that hill, man, would I be hurting. Well, my guys would catch up to me, okay? And I remember them saying, Paul, come on. And they'd even slow down. Come on, just get up over this hill. And that happened more than once, okay? I actually had that happen over at Sunken Meadow, too, the same thing, where Barry Nelson picked me up. Literally, I was almost walking, got me to the top, and then I took off again because I was starting to feel fresh. But that's the type of support I had from the team. The second group, you know, I had was a great group of track athletes. And Gideon talked about it a little bit. You know, I had Gideon, I had Solomon, I had Franklin Jacobs, I had Candy Young, and there was many more I can name that were some of the best athletes in the nation. So I had great mentors, okay? And then the third group of people that really supported me, I had some great, great coaches. Walt Marusin, he was fabulous. He was kind of like a father to me, and when I was so young, that was so uplifting. You know, he knew that he didn't have to say something to me if a race didn't go well, because I just beat on myself. You know, he'd be always uplifting to me. So, and then there was, you know, the athletics directors, the administration, and the therapists and so on that would keep us going. Well, I want to relate one race to you that was a really kind of a pivotal race. It was my 4-minute mile, okay? And this will show you the type of support and the meanings that it had. So it was over in California. I was really enthused to be out there. It was a really hot day, and I went out, and I didn't really warm up. Very unusual for me. And coach comes over. He's worried. Paul, is everything okay? You're not warming up? Are you sick? No, I'm okay. So I toe the line. I look over. Solomon Nyambu, he's beside me. I don't care. I'm going to give him heck. Okay? And by the way, Solomon got second in the Olympics. So that was the type of guy I was up against. I'm thinking, okay, no problem. So anyways, we get going, and I come around it after the first lap, and I'm towards the back of the pack. and I hear a voice very, very clearly, "Paul, move up." It was the voice of Elias Stratus, one of our trustees. And I could hear his voice because it was very distinct, and I heard it over the rest of the field or crowd. And I moved up. I mean, that was a motivating thing, and when so much is happening, it's kind of nice to have sort of something outside watching what's going on. So I came by the second lap. We were too flat, okay? I heard the voice. "Keep in there, stay in there," and I did. You know, and too flat for me wasn't too hard to do. Well, we came by the third lap, and he shouted, "Let loose." And I'm like, it was like a bell went off in me, and I heard the time 2:59. And then all I can think about, Russ Rogers always had me run 59-second quarters, multiple, like 10 in a row. Surely I can do one more. So I came around that second corner, okay, and came out into the straightaway, and I just let loose. I really did. I took over. I led the race. And I was pouring down that back straight, okay, and I'm like, this is great. I got to about 200 meters, and I rigged. And at the same point I rigged, Nyan Bowie went flying by me. It was like he was a rabbit going by me. And then another guy from Arkansas kind of come up, and between the two of us, we fought to the finish. So anyways, I finished. I've never ran so hard. It was so intense to do, and I know that that voice helped me through it. What was really interesting was I'm lying on the ground, literally, on my hands and knees, and Eli comes over here with the stopwatch and says, "I think you did it, Paul." I'm like, oh, that's great. And I look up, and I'm not even concentrating on what he's saying, but you know, I'm dying of thirst, and I look up, and you know what? I mooched his pop. Yeah, I was so dying, I'm like, "Can I have your pop?" So, yeah, I mooched the board of directors' pop. That was great, eh? So anyways, that's the first thing of my athletics that, you know, I think really helped me excel, was everybody here with their support. The second thing I wanted to talk about was academics. So I was one of the few crazy athletes, and I wanted to take engineering. I mean, that was the choice of why I came to Fairleigh. I was promised I could take engineering, and I did have some other universities that wanted me to go, and they offered me basket weaving. And I'm sorry, I was just stubborn. So anyways, the support through my education was phenomenal. I mean, I had teachers that would give me their lecture notes so I could copy them down because I missed because I was way at a track meet. I had teachers, professors, that allowed me to write the exam the day before. I had the coaches that would say, "Oh, you've got a critical exam. Why don't you do the workout tomorrow instead of tonight?" So that support helped me immensely. I did graduate with honors in mechanical, and I can tell you, it's been 30 years now, but I'm doing very well, and I know that I'm providing leadership for my company, and it comes from my education at FDU. Then there was a third thing that I did get out of Fairleigh Dickinson, okay, that I'm very proud of. So some funny things started happening in my junior year, you know, and Gideon kind of talked about it. Well, there was girls that lived below us. Yeah. And it kind of started out, you know, it evolved. But it kind of started out, you know, they had a newspaper, okay? And Gideon and I, you know, we're track guys. We needed updates on how the rest of the nation's doing on running. So we'd grab their paper and read it and put it back, right? Well, it got later in the season, in the spring, and you know what? There were some articles on us. So we took out the scissors and clipped it out, put the newspaper back. That was pretty good. You know, it evolved better, and then there were some really good articles on the whole team. We just took the whole sports section, and we put it back. And it was kind of funny, because we went down, and remember they used to have those ink easels they'd write on the door? So, boy, did that newspaper man get heck. And they threatened not to pay him anymore. We're kind of worried about us still getting the newspaper. But anyways, you know, they found out. So, you know what? They come up and let us have it, okay? Let me just, you know, I can't get into too much detail on this side of the subject, okay? But so let me just fast forward it, okay? And in the end, I met my dream girl, and I married my dream girl, okay? And it's 31 years later, and she's still my sweetheart. So just in closing, I just want to say I'm so proud of the university, and I'm thankful for everything it's given me, all the opportunities, and wish everybody the best.